Donna.
And today for story time, we're going to be doing the first 3 chapters of Junie B, First Grader, At Last by Barbara Park.
Aw, Junie B, you go.
All right, chapter 1. There's Junie B. First grade surprises. Dear First Grade Journal, yesterday was the first day of school. It is new here. Today, my teacher handed out these journals. He is making us write in these dumb things. Only I don't even know what to write. My teacher has muscles and a mustache. His name is Mr. Scary. He made that name up, I believe. I'm not even scared of him, hardly. From Junie B, First Grader. I put down my pencil. I looked at what I wrote. I did a sigh. I would like to go home now, I just said to myself. Shh, said a girl named May. I'm still trying to do my work. You see, there's May. She's shushing.
Junie B reminds me of a few first graders that I know at BGC.
May sits next to me in the back of the room. I do not actually care for that girl. Just then, my teacher stood up at his desk. His mustache smiled real friendly. Okay, boys and girls, you can stop writing now, he said. As I told you earlier, we will be working in our journals quite often this year. In fact, it won't be long until your journals start feeling like an old friend. I rolled my eyes at the ceiling.
Journaling is good, but I don't understand a friendly mustache.
Well, he has a friendly mustache. It's Mr. Scary, see? Here he is, his friendly mustache.
So it's Mr. Scary, but he has a friendly mustache.
Exactly, that's why she thinks he made the name up.
That's pretty funny.
What kind of an old friend looks like a dumb notebook? I said. Shh, said May again. You shouldn't talk while the teacher is talking, Junie Jones. I looked at her real annoyed. B, I said. My name is Junie B. I think I've mentioned it to you before, I think, May. I leaned in closer to her face. B, 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 I said.
She definitely wants them to get her name right, that's for sure.
B.
B.
After that, I slumped in my seat, and I put my head on my desk. I peeked at the other children who sit near me. Their names are Herb, and Lenny, and Jose. I do not know them from a hole in the ground. First grade is not what it's cracked up to be. My room is named Room 1. I was nervous when I came in here yesterday. That's how come Daddy had to carry me all the way to my room, because my legs felt like squishy jello. He put me down outside the door. Well, here we are at last, Junie B, he said. First grade, at last. My stomach had flutterflies in it. Also, my arms had prickly goosebumps, and my forehead had drops of sweaty. I am a wreck, I said.
I still remember my first day in first grade.
Yeah?
I still remember it.
Me too. My daddy smiled very nice. There's nothing to worry about, Junie B, I promise, he said. You're going to love first grade. Just think, there's a whole room full of brand new friends just waiting to meet you. He ruffled my hair. Are you ready to go in now, he asked. Are you ready to start your first grade adventure? I looked at him a real long time. Then I quick spun around and I zoomed down the hall as fast as I could.
Poor Junie B.
But Daddy zoomed after me. He caught me up with a speedy quick. He carried me back to my class, only this time he carried me straight into the room. As soon as he put me down, I hid behind his legs. Because that place was a zoo, I tell you. There were people everywhere. There were girls and boys and mothers and daddies and grandmas and grandpas, plus also there were some drooly babies and strollers. Then all of a sudden, my whole mouth came open. Because good news, I finally saw someone I knew. I jumped up and down and all around. Daddy, Daddy, it's Lucille. I hollered, remember Lucille? Remember, Lucille's my bestest friend from kindergarten last year.
Friendly face.
Yes, Lucille was standing at the desk next to the window. I ran to her in a jiffy. Then I hugged and hugged that girl. I couldn't even stop. Lucille! Lucille, it's me! It's your bestest friend from kindergarten, Junie B. Jones! I tried to pick her up. I'm so glad to see you, friend! I shouted real joyful. Lucille put my arms off of her. Stop it, Junie B. Stop it, she said. You're wrinkling my new back-to-school dress. This thing costs a fortune.
First grade jitters, huh?
I stopped hugging her. Lucille smoothed out and fluffed herself. I smoothed and fluffed her too. There, I said, good as new. After that, I grabbed Lucille's hand and I started to pull. Come on, Lucille, let's go find 2 desks together, I said. I think we should sit near the door. Want to, huh? If we sit near the door, we can stare at people who walk down the hall. Lucille yanked her hand away. No, Junie B. No, I'm not going to sit at this desk right here, she said. I already picked it out with my 2 new friends, Camille and Chenille.
Oh,
She pointed at the door. See them over there? She said. I met them before you came. They are saying goodbye to their mother. Aren't they precious? You see, here they are. I looked at Camille and Chanel, and guess what? My eyes popped right out of my head because, wowie, wowie, wow, those girls were twins. That's why. I sprang way high in the air. Twins! Twins, there's twins! Lucille, this is our lucky day. I pulled on her again. Come on, Lucille, let's go touch on them.
Oh boy.
Hurry, hurry, before the line forms.
Oh boy.
Lucille did not budge a muscle. Stop it, Junie B. Quit pulling on me, she said. Camille and Chanel don't want to be touched. And besides, I am their new best friend, not you. Oops. I looked surprised at that girl. Yes, but I can be their bestest friend along with you. Right, Lucille? I asked. All I have to do is meet them, right? And then all of us can be bestest friends together. Lucille shook her head. No, Junie B. I'm sorry, but you and I have already been best friends, remember? She said. We were best friends a whole long year, and now it's time for Camille and Chanel to get it turned. She did a shrug. It's only fair of me, she said. And besides, their names rhyme with my name, and yours doesn't. She wrinkled her nose, very cute. Camille and Chanel and Lucille. See, isn't that darling? After that, Lucille gave me a pat. Don't be sad, okay, she said. You and I can still be friends, Junie B, just not on a regular basis. After that, she waved her fingers, and she said ta-ta. And she skipped to Camille and Chanel.
Poor Junie B.
Chapter 2, More Surprises plus Herb. Exciting stuff. Mommy and Daddy kept trying to cheer me up about first grade. Mother says sometimes life has disappointments in it. Daddy says sometimes you have to roll with the punches. I say first grade is a flop. Last year I had two bestest friends. First I had Lucille, plus also I had that Grace. Me and that Grace rode the school bus together every single day. Only too bad for us because this year Grace got put in a different school than me. And that was not even fair. But hooray, hooray, me and Grace still decided to ride the bus together. Because that's what friendship is for, I think. So last week, both of us sat next to each other, just like we always did. Only, what do you know? On Monday morning, Grace got on the bus with a new girl from her new class.
Not again.
And those two plopped down in the seat right in front of me.
Not again.
I jumped up quick, and I tapped on Grace's head. Grace, I said, excuse me, Grace. What kind of shenanigans do you call this, madam? Do you not see me sitting here? Grace waved at me real friendly. Hi, yes, Junie B, hi. I'm sorry, but I can't sit with you today, but I promised Bobby Jean Piper I would sit with her this morning, okay? I stamped my foot. No, Grace, not okay. You can't sit with Bobby Jean Piper, I said. You and I have to sit together every single day. Because we sat together every day last year, and this year shalt be no different. Just then, Mr. Wu, the bus driver, closed the door. He looked in his mirror at me. Please sit down, Junie B, he said. Bobby Jean Piper pointed and grinned. You got yelled at, she said, kind of mean. I made a scary face at that girl. Grrr, I said, grrr, Bobby Jean Piper. Behind me, I heard a loud laugh. And guess what? It was Herb who sits in front of me in room 1. Herb, I said, real surprised. I didn't even know that you rode this bus. He kept on laughing. You said grrr, he said. Grrr, that was a good one. I wrinkled my eyebrow at that boy. Yeah, only here's the problem, Herbert, I said. Grrr is not actually in a joking matter. Plus, I wasn't even talking to you. Herb quit laughing. I know you weren't talking to me, he said. No one on this bus ever talks to me. That's because last year I went to a different school, so I don't have any bus friends yet. Just then, the bus stopped at the next corner. Herb came around the seat and sat next to me. Maybe just for today I can sit here, he said. Until you get your old bus friend back, I mean. I tapped on my chin, very thinking.
It's a good idea, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good
Then,
idea.
all of a sudden, I raised my voice very loud. Why, sure you can sit here, Herbert, I said. You can sit here forever if you want to, because I used to have a bus friend named Grace. But today, I am dropping her like a hot tomato. Bobby Jean Piper peeked over the seat at me. You meant potato, she teased. I sprang up again. Bobby Jean Piper wears a diaper, I yelled. Mr. Wu frowned in the mirror. Sit down, Junie B. He grouched. I sat down.
Good choice.
Then I did a big breath, and I looked at Herb. Today is not off to a good start, I said, kind of quiet. Herb nodded. I hear ya, he said, and there they are. Just kind of feeling a little bummed out for themselves.
First grade.
First
Off to a bumpy start.
Off to a bumpy start. It's a flop. I slumped way down in my seat. My bestest friends are dropping like flies, I said. Herb nodded. Join the club, he said. First grade is a flop, I said. Herb nodded. Totally. I looked out the window. Grr, I said. Grr, said Herb. I smiled to just myself. I think I might like this, Herb.
Maybe a silver lining there.
Maybe a silver lining.
Yeah.
All right, chapter 3, Stumped. Me and Herb walked to room 1 from the bus. He waved to Mr. Scary, then I waved too. I'm not even scared of that teacher, hardly, I just said to myself. We kept on walking to our seats. May was already sitting at her desk. She was organizing her pencil box. Lenny was at his desk too. Only wait till you hear this. I'd even recognize that guy almost, because Lenny has a thrilling new haircut, that's why. It was pointish and spikish and stiffish and straightish. That hair can puncture you, I think. Whoa, I said. Cool, said Herb. Gel, said Lenny. Shh, said May. Just then, Jose came running down the road. He was rushing real fast, because the bell was almost ready to ring. Hola, everyone, he said out of breath. Hola, hola. Me and Herb and Lenny looked curious at him. Jose grinned. Whoops, he said. Hola means hello in Spanish. I know 2 different languages, and sometimes I forget which one I'm speaking. Wow, Jose, I said. You really speak 2 languages? Cool, said Herb. Big deal, said May. I know Spanish too. I can count all the way to 3 in Spanish. Does anyone want to hear? The rest of us just kind of looked at each other. Not really, said Herb. Not me, said Lenny. Me neither, said Jose. You see, they're all scattered.
Yeah,
Listen to Jose.
it's a tough crowd.
Yeah. May didn't pay any attention to us. Uno, dos, tres, she said real loud. I leaned nearer to her. Shh, I said. Then everyone laughed and laughed, but not May. Pretty soon the bell rang for school. Mr. Scary got our morning started. First, he took attendance of the children. Then we said, I pledge allegiance to the flag. Plus also, we listened to boring bulletins from the office. Finally, Mr. Scary walked to the chalkboard. He printed a list of words. Boys and girls, he said, this morning I have a fun assignment for you. He winked at us and pointed to the list. I want you to read these words to yourselves, he said. Then, without talking to your neighbor, choose any word from the list and draw a picture of it in your journal. May squealed, very thrilled. Ooh, goody, goody, she said. I love this kind of assignment, Mr. Scary. I am perfect at not talking to my neighbor. After that, she quick took a pencil out of her box and she started to draw. I stared at the words. Then I tapped on my chin and I scratched my head because I didn't actually get this assignment, that's why. I said. I glanced my eyes at Herb and Lenny and Jose. All of them were drawing too. I looked back at the board again. Then I stretched my neck as far as it could go and I squinted my hardest. But those words just had me stumped, I tell you. Finally, I reached out to Herb in a real secret way and I tapped him on his back. Psst! Herb, I whispered. Quick question. Which word are you drawing? May did a loud gasp. She jumped up from her seat and pointed at me. Mr. Scary! Mr. Scary! Junie Jones is talking to her neighbor. See her? She's talking to her, but that is against the rules.
Oh boy, that May.
I turned my head. Blabber lips. I yelled, blabber lips, May. Mr. Scary looked back at us. His mustache was not smiling. I did a gulp. Then quick, I opened my journal and I started to draw. And that's the end of chapter 3, which means that we're done with this session of BHC Storytime. I'm Miss Dani.
And I'm Miss Donna.
We hope everybody's staying healthy, happy at home, and we'll see you guys real soon. Bye!
Bye.